All right, happy Tuesday night, everybody. We missed you last night. We were at the final athletic banquet for my son. Graduation weekend or week rolls on here for the Ropes Eagles. So we're here tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right out. We got a graduation Friday night. So we got a lot of stuff to get to. Texas Tech baseball must win. Can they do it? I'll outline how maybe they can do it this weekend, and the one slight advantage that they have going into the tournament over some other Big 12 teams. We have that. We have graduation, obviously, going on all around us. Tech last week and everything else. I want you to give us two people that you would love to hear give a graduation, a commencement address, or you can give us the best ones you've heard. Maybe you heard a great one. I'll tell you who gave mine when I was at Texas Tech. Yeah, it's really not that exciting, but hey, we'll do that. So that's what's going on tonight. Glad to be back with you. I want you guys to do a couple of things right now. The early arrivals, whether you're on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live, share this. There are buttons you can click. You can invite your friends in and say, hey, we're talking tech, baseball, we're talking tech, football, basketball, anything you want to do, fire away the questions. Thanks to United Supermarkets. Let us know the audio and the video is good. But share this, put it out there, grow the audience tonight. And indeed, Damon jumping in on Twitter. The talking box is on. All right. Deep breath. We'll get going. In three, two. Good evening, West Texas. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, the website you start your day with. You were already there earlier today. You're checking out the cool hot links we bring you every day. Also, today we're brought to you by Gators Bayou. Hot Cajun food, cold drinks, all the Tech games on, including Tech baseball later on this weekend. No matter the time, they've got it for you right there. Golf USA, we're in full golf mode right now. We got the PGA Championship coming up. Go see Stacy Nix. Find out what they can do. They've got an amazing selection now of new clubs that are coming in that you need. Maybe the putter you need and everything else. And, you need to go over there and tell them we said, hey. All the communications brought to you tonight by United Supermarket. There's only one supermarket in West Texas that's a wholehearted, full-throated voice supporter of Texas Tech. And it ain't one that's got initials in it. It's Market Street and United Supermarkets. And anything you see us wear Western-wise, you can get at Boot City, Money Saving Mile, outside the West Loop. Let's get it going tonight. It's win or go home for Texas Tech baseball going into the Big 12 tournament. That's the way it is right now. Your RPI, best case scenario, is about 52. NCAA could have it a little higher. So we ask the question, can they get in? One, can they do it? It's win the Big 12 tournament or else. So how do you do that? How do you win the Big 12 tournament or else? Well, me and Mark Finkner, we called it in 1998. We saw a Tech team go to Oklahoma City in the first year at the Bricktown ballpark, and the 98 team was kind of on the fringe back in the day. Might make the tournament, might not. Never know. Back then, Texas Tech was not a team that was a lock just by name to get in the tournament. So they had to do something. So they won the tournament and they used 8 pitchers. How'd they do that? My God, that was impressive. But they did it. So it can be done. Now, can this team do it is the question. Now, what's weird is that Texas Tech has a trip out to Tempe, Arizona starting on Thursday. Is it Thursday night? Yeah, I think it's Thursday night. Arizona State, then Friday, and then Saturday before the Big 12 tournament. So what do you do? What do you do? We're going to talk about that here as we go through. Then on the graduation front, I want you to give me 2 people you would love to hear give a graduation address, a commencement address. And if you had anybody that gave a good one, I want to hear about it, high school, college, or otherwise. I'll tell you who gave mine. So, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld getting booed off at Duke. Duke, we've lost Duke. Really? We've lost Duke? Yeah, we lost Duke a long time ago. Good grief. As a Methodist, I look at Duke and I go on with your bad self. Do what you want to do. Got no time for you. Yeah, so they're booing on. They're walking out on Jerry Seinfeld. Who knew? By the way, you know what today is the anniversary of? That's right, 1998, the end of Seinfeld, the Seinfeld finale, the show I never saw for like 5 or 6 years because I was doing seat cushion night with Mark Finkner at the Big 12 baseball tournament at Bricktown Ballpark, where they threw thousands of seat cushions onto the field, Oklahoma fans, on a close play at the plate. Never saw the ending for years. So here's to Seinfeld, the show I never saw the ending. And when I finally saw it, I was like, I can kind of get why everybody was saying, yeah, whatever. So there you go. Michael, I heard Rob Bro, misspelled, but yeah, back on the radio today. It was good hearing him. Yeah, Lubbock Radio needs Rob Bro on, and I hope he gets the opportunity to be on. He had a non-compete that he had to sit out after we left KKM 1340 Talk 103.9 FM last April. So he had a non-compete that he had to sit out. And I'll tell you what, right now, if he wants to be on radio and they will put him in the right situation, it'll be a great show and you guys will love it. Lubbock needs people like Rob Bro on radio. He doesn't need it. Lubbock needs it. I'll tell you that right now. It's really Independence Day too. It was. Yeah. There you go. Anniversary of the beginning of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Also is the series finale in 1989 of Moonlighting, perhaps the greatest TV show ever, the best writing ever. My goodness. So good. Sybil Shepherd, Bruce Willis, great ensemble cast. We link to that. See, this is what I give you every day on the Hot Links. We link to not only the fact that it was the anniversary of the final series finale for Moonlighting, but I gave you like a 10-minute highlight reel of how good the show was. Good God, that was so good. See, that was late high school for me, and then 1 year into going to Texas Tech. The last year limped off. It wasn't so good. But 86, 87, there was nothing better on TV than Moonlighting. I'll tell you that right now. Lewis and Clark expedition. They went out there. They founded Lewistown, Idaho, and they started the NAIA World Series that LCU won 1 year out there and 1 year in Lubbock. So that's good. So we have Tech baseball to talk about tonight. The series out there at Tempe means absolutely nothing, which really gives Texas Tech baseball an odd advantage over the teams that are playing conference games this weekend. So Tech can go out there. They can lose all three. Doesn't matter. The only way Tech gets into the NCAA tournament right now is to win the Big 12 tournament. So what do you do? What would you do if you're Tim Tadlock? Matt Gardner, Eric Gutierrez, J-Bob, all those guys. I go wild card on it. I absolutely throw back end guys. I don't start Kyle Robinson this weekend. He threw 118, 100 whatever it was. I don't start him. Ryan Free got lit up, absolutely scorched there at Oklahoma State. I mean, just the kind of outing that, some people never recover from. Atlee Hammaker, 1983, All-Star game. Google it. Kids, Google it. Look it up. I'd take those guys and I'd say, you got the weekend off. Go out, lay out by the pool, suntan, hang out. You're not pitching. You're not pitching. Sybil with a C, not with an S, but I get the idea. And you can't beat her. That was probably voice to text right there. Throw hands up and let them have fun. There you go, CJ. So we're kind of on the same page here. I'm not tanking this weekend. I am. Whatever comes after tanking this weekend, I don't care. So I throw the back end arms. I might not even take Robinson out there or Free out there. And I rest them. And I let the Big 12 beat itself up, and you go in as the 10th seed knowing you have to win every freaking game. So how do you do that? You do it with rested arms. And you do it with spectacular performances. And it's probably not going to happen, but that's what you do. What do you do with the hitters? Doesn't matter really. If they want to play, great play, get some timing in, everything else. If a guy needs a day off, if a guy needs to take it out, let a guy take a day off. If you want to look at somebody at a different position, let them do it. But you've got 3 games out there. What is it? 1, 2, 3? Doubleheader? 1, 2, 3? Maybe 4. Yeah, I think it was like 2 and a double. Anyhow, you have the ability, if you're Tim Tadlock, that no other Big 12 team has going into the tournament, to really sit there and go, I've got 3 days, and then 2 days before we go up there, and it starts on 21st, to 100% do nothing that's going to hurt my team and everything that might help it. Now, I don't know if he'll do it. I don't know. We'll see. But he's talking about Tim Tadlock. He's always been one who's been a little bit to go contrarian, a little bit against the grain, even though some people think he's so straight laced, everything else. No, he was one of the first guys to do the closer starter closer, whatever you want. He embraced that. He's, for all the people who say, well, he's just set in his ways and he didn't do anything to change. You couldn't be more wrong if you wanted to be. So it wouldn't shock me if they did something like that this weekend. Michael, I would sit out my players and ask people in Tempe, Arizona, if they wanted to play in Sun Devils, play the Sun Devils in baseball. Yeah. What is it? Hewlett Packard? Not Hewlett Packard. Packard Stadium, I think, unless they've changed it. I never got to call a game there. Mark Dinkner got to call several games there, including an epic series in 95, 96. I should have asked. David Collier, who does TV sports talking, he gets on TV and he has movies behind him. So he has movies, moving pictures, and talkies, and then the talkies and everything. Said, hey, Free will be in bullpen this weekend. Robinson might pitch an inning. There you go. See, I didn't even see that. I wasn't invited. So the brilliance of Raiderland obviously trickling down into what we're seeing. Not surprised by that. David, do you have anything else you want to contribute to the class today? I know you were on radio, but earlier today and on TV earlier, but I mean now you have an audience and everything. So that was crappy. I didn't mean it that way. No, seriously. Yeah, so Free in the bullpen. I would throw him. Unless he threw Friday, so his bullpen would be Tuesday. He could do an inning like on, I don't know, Sunday maybe, something like that. Just a bullpen or anything else. But you are completely to the nothing else matters mode. So if they lose every game by 10 runs this weekend, football guy will probably freak out. That's fine. I love football guy. A couple of football guys coming at us this week saying, see, I told you earlier in the year. That's like the guy who says, the end of the world is going to happen in the one day. It happens. Said, see, I'm right. That was right. This team wasn't in truly jeopardy until about 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, happens. We're talking about graduation ceremonies, speakers you would love to hear. We call it Tuesday's Best. So I ask you today, 2 best speakers you'd love to hear at a graduation ceremony. Obviously, we're talking about this because of what happened with Jerry Seinfeld, but you can give us maybe the best you had at your graduation ceremony. So I'll give you mine. I did graduate a couple of times. I know it's hard to believe. And then 2 people you want to hear. Jamie, we love hearing from Jamie. All right, Jamie on the YouTube channel. Everybody who gets in tonight, you're on YouTube, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on anything else, LSD. Just thank United Supermarkets and Market Street for making it happen. And then this weekend, it's graduation. You could go here in probably the next day or so, go out there. And if you're going to be cooking out or anything else, go out there and get some great brisket and all the fine meats they have. I was at Tech's graduation Saturday, says Jamie, while other schools are parading Palestinian flags in anti-Semitic protest. The USA crowd cheered when Bible verses were shared by the student speaker. Knock it out. Way to go. Love it. Love to hear that. Not surprised at all, but love to hear it. Here's to you. My heart hurts for these students around the country who are being denied their college graduation because of a bunch of idiots and a bunch of knuckleheads, and that the universities are too weak to enforce policy and bring in and just get rid of the idiots and say, we're going to have a graduation ceremony and you can be arrested and go away, but we're going to do it, by God, because these are the same kids 4 years ago that lost their senior years in high school to the stupid COVID regulations. They're getting hit twice in these places. They lost their senior year of high school for no good reason whatsoever, as we now know. And some of us said at the time, thank you very much, that there was no reason for it. But yet here we are again for some of these kids, and it just breaks my heart for them. And I hope people will stand up for them. Damon, graduation speakers that I would have liked to hear are Ronald Reagan and George S. Patton. May God have mercy upon our enemies, because I will not. George Patton. Ronald Reagan. Yeah, I'll have a couple of handfuls of Jelly Bellies. That'll be good. So I graduated in 1992 at Texas Tech. But I had to go an extra 6 weeks session because I farted around, and let this be a lesson to my son. I farted around on a couple of elective classes and had to finish up, in the summer. So I had to take summer school so I was 4 years and 6 weeks. I got done. But let the record show, I was also working the entire time from my freshman year on, calling Lady Raider basketball, Texas Tech basketball, LISD football. You get the idea. Yeah, I was kind of busy. I was working, but I was determined to get my degree. So I didn't get to walk, and I didn't really care at this point. It wasn't a big deal to me that I had finished up there in July of '92, but it meant a lot to my parents. And kids, if you're watching, it means more to your parents probably than you most times. So, I was counseled wisely by somebody to say, damn right, you're going to walk. Your parents deserve to see this. So I went through they didn't have a summer graduation. They had, winter and whatever. So the winter of '92 sounds like a very exciting, what would they like, what is it? The family, not Hallmark Channel, the winter of '92. Well, back then it was hard to get people to come in and do a commencement exercise. So I got Dr. Robert Lawless, the former CEO of Southwest Airlines, who was at the time president of Texas Tech. So I really didn't have anybody. Now I don't hold it against him, because I had met him several times over the years at Texas Tech, all in a good way. He was a huge Lady Raider fan. He traveled with us some in 1991-92, prior to the '93 national championship. When the Lady Raiders won the Southwest Conference in '92, he invited everybody out to the president's house, which then was on 20th. Was it on 19th or 20th? This would have been in '91, '92. Either way. So he'd been a huge fan. So long story short, I'm walking across the stage that morning, and Dr. Lawless is there, and he's greeting everybody who comes across. And I walk across, and I mean, it's amazing. He recognizes me. I got the mortarboard on and everything else. And he said, I thought you'd been gone for years. I said, sir, thank you. I thought I had been too. Now, he was a huge supporter of Lady Raider basketball, women's athletics, Texas Tech athletics, and he would when he left Tech and ended up retiring back in Tulsa. And I think actually he became the president at Tulsa University in the mid '90s. But whenever the Lady Raiders would play at Oklahoma State, him and his wife Marcy would always come down. They were always so kind. So that was my graduation speaker at Texas Tech was Dr. Lawless, who it's easy to forget at the time when he took over as Tech president. He had left Southwest Airlines, one of the biggest corporations, one of the most successful companies in America, to come in and run Texas Tech. And it was a guy like Dr. Lawless who his input created, I think, the energy and the impetus that grew Texas Tech in the '90s to a John Martford being willing to take over as the initial chancellor and growing it that way and creating that aspect. So here's to you, Dr. David Lawless. I thought I had been gone years too. Yeah. So graduation speakers that you saw, graduation speakers that you would love to see. Who would that fall into the category? We can talk about Texas Tech baseball tonight. Uh, David Collier, KMAC 28 sports director. Appreciate him jumping in tonight, giving us insight and everything else on what Tim Tadlock and baseball had to say today. And I'm pleased to hear that they're going to put Free in the bullpen. And I would absolutely let Ryan Free come out in a low leverage situation, blow a couple of guys away, for an inning, and go, all right, we're going to go back. And here's what you're going to do this week at the Big 12 tournament. You're going to go 8 innings. We mentioned on Twitter today, me and Mark Finkner, how the 1998 team, who was not a lock to make the NCAA tournament, they were not a lock, went up there and won it, the Big 12 tournament in 1998 in Bricktown, first time at Bricktown Ballpark, and they used 8 pitchers. And one of the guys only threw 1 inning, Major Nelson, Peter Nelson. It was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen in baseball, what they got out of those guys. It can be done. And that team, looking back on where this team is and where that team was, yeah, they're probably a little bit better going in, but not a lot. But they had a bunch of competitors and a bunch of guys, particularly on the mound, who just stepped up and said, "Yeah, we're gonna go, we're gonna throw," and they did. Guys like Shane Wright, Ralston, Monty Ward, Kate Allison, Eric Cooper, the legendary Eric Cooper, Zach Stewart, who only pitched when the TVs were on for HSE, and everybody around the country thought Zach Stewart for 3 years was the greatest pitcher in the Big 12. There you go, Zach. That's for you. Collier, it was also who is this Bob Brothers guy people are talking about in the chat? Bob Brothers. Tadlock. It would be a simple and short ceremony. Yeah, it would be. Lance, that would be fun. Tim Tadlock is your commencement speaker. Yeah, so I can't even do Tadlock anymore. Collier can do a better one. Matt Roberts does the best down there at Baylor. All right, so you went to class, and that's good, and it's a good thing with the grades, and now, hey, just take the thing, and you guys go do stuff now, because you've been doing stuff, so go do stuff. That's horrible. I apologize. I didn't have time to think about it. Thanks, Lance. I could do a better job doing Spike Dykes talking about how he left Rice University. He started off, former coach Spike Dykes was a freshman at Rice, football scholarship, Jess Neely, head coach, and he was there for 1 year. And the coolest line in the old media guide in the bio for Spike at Texas Tech was how it said, and Spike said, I left Rice University because it wasn't offering the academic challenges I was looking for at the time. That's pretty good. I think that was Joe Hornaday or Kelly Robinson. I don't know who wrote it. Spike probably gave him the line. That was pretty good. So yeah, who would you like from a commencement standpoint? Tech grads. Well, we had Pat Green a couple of years ago, right? Really? Josh Abbott, I think, has done it. Has he? I think he has. Yeah. Did Zach Thomas do one? Help me out here. Call you can remember this more than I can. I want to say Zach maybe came back. Not bad. The tech people, and we hyper focus on athletics around here on this thing. I don't know. I would like, some of the guys I went to school with who just barely graduated to come back and say, hey, I barely freaking graduated and look at what I'm doing today. I'm not going to name any names. We all know those guys. You're like, I can't believe they freaking graduated. And they're the guys who are running stuff today. They're the guys who are running companies or women or ladies. They're the one who are out there doing amazing things. Get those people back. Get the C students back. Get the 2.5 GPA, barely got your ass out of here, and they're running a concrete and construction company today. Get those people back. I want to hear from them. Seinfeld would have been good. I don't know if anybody, I got to see a little clip of some of the things he was saying. That was pretty good. It was good stuff. If I were doing one of the first things I would say is do not let these years be the best years of your life. If I were doing like even my son's high school graduation this Friday night or any tech graduation or anything else, I would say do not let people tell you these are the best years of your life. You will look back upon this fondly. I would say to that, hell no. Rage against that. Do not let your high school years be the greatest years of your life. Let them be every day coming forward. Do not let college be the greatest time of your life. Do not look back and wish you were there. Let these years build upon them and create a life that you can't wait for tomorrow, that you can't wait to do something the next day, that what you have done in high school and or college is going to create a life that you look back and say, hey, that was great. This is even better. That you look back upon that and say, this created a life that allowed me to look back and go, yeah, that was nice. That was cool. But my gosh, look at what I have now. That if high school and college is the end all be all for people, if you're wearing your high school letter jacket 2 years later at your high school football game, standing on the sidelines, yeah, not so good. There are some people I see that can't let go of the college days. I see them with alumni associations. I see them with all sorts of, on-campus organizations that they come back to, they flock to as an adult, and they don't do anything out there, so they have to come back to it because that was the safe place, that was the best thing. And that's okay for some. There are roles you can do that are good. There are roles you can do that put people forward. But I still see more, I think, that I look at and go, you just couldn't launch, could you? I mean, I love Texas Tech. I love Coronado High School. Don't want to go back to either one ever. Every day after each of those experiences for me has been better than any day I spent there. Thankfully. And I wish that upon our graduates today. As I speak to you in my commencement address, I wish upon you that every single day you move forward from this university, this college, this high school, this moment, that it is better than every moment you spent here. Because if you enjoyed it here, and you learned anything from it, and if it's better than that, you're going to do pretty good. Thanks for coming to my graduation talk. We enjoyed it tonight. What I want you to do from here, share this on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Put it out there. We're going to archive it at theraiderland.com here in just a little bit. Oh, yeah, I got a frozen pizza tonight. I'm going to have a frozen pizza. My wife's going to be like, oh, but I got this pasta I heated up. I want a frozen pizza tonight. We're going to do a frozen pizza. Tomorrow night, here's the schedule. We're good tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Thursday, we're good Thursday. Friday, right out. Graduation, going to go crazy. I don't know. We may have a party here. I mean, your kid's not invited or anything, but me and my wife may have a party here and everything else. So archive everything we do tomorrow. Overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday on the website, theraiderland.com. And I'm going to give you a heads up. We're going to ask this question. Think about it tonight. Think about it. The 5 albums every graduate should own, high school or college. The 5 albums every graduate should own. Music. Damon, we are indeed Green White Checker. Thank you for being out there. Damon can't decide whether he's on Twitter or on YouTube or whatever else. That's okay. I want to thank David Collier for being out there. You guys for enjoying the show. Y'all are the best. So let's make it happen. Let's grow Raiderland. And hey, I want to say one more time, welcome back, Rob Rowe, to radio. Lubbock needs Rob Rowe on radio. You're out there, Rob. You damn gambling